Hello, fair listener. Welcome and thank you for following our journey on metagaming by Rum Propelled Gaming. Fair warning, sometimes we are not safe for work, and others not safe for real life. Journey forth at your own risk. Now let's dive right back into Tarath through the campaign Alilopolis.
The Hand of High Craig.
Our
Hello.
Father is the national liberty.
The hand of fate tosses, the dice rolls, spins, turns. A campaign starts and ends, leaving memories that become stories. Stories flow out into the infinite sea, painting it with legends. Legends wash up on the shores throughout the infinite sea, fading to myth until myths are forgotten. And again, the hand of fate tosses, the dice rolls, spins, turns. Hitherto, we left our adventurers known as the Rum Rollers, having just left the Infinite Tower after a nap in Adune and hard discussions and some galactic spaghetti sauce. Right. This all transpired after if they'd already rescued Socrates from the losing their magics to the mana thieves who were coming from the deep oceans, and began or being rewarded with a flying Adune and a bag of 1% shareholding for all interest in the cure that helped those regain the people that had lost their magics from Shandar, the Red Dragon's breath. With plans to take down the professional necromancy cult, the Rum Rollers take flight to the Lava Tower. En route, they meet with the goddess Zenith and god Lono in their draconic forms. A amethyst and gold dragon, respectively. The goddess of knowledge informs the Rum Rollers that they should begin their path to ascension at the peninsula of Choi, and warns against facing the PNC at this time as they've set fully encamped in their space for a while and have plans to break the seal on this galaxy, or rather, solar system. The star shroud that keeps other powerful entities out. They plan to do so by leaving the planet Tarth to go to the moon Yggdrasil, which is now the green moon and the second moon that circles Tarth. Once there, they will build another base, making it easier for their travels to the edge of their solar system. The Rum Rollers are now faced with the choice of becoming gods, decide to try and contact another plane via Grandam, who breaks some sort of intergalactic law, thus summoning a spaghetti monster, who immediately punishes them, or rather tries to, with a high-proof spaghetti sauce moonshine that immediately inebriates anyone who drinks it and removes their powers for a certain amount of time, which is when the Rum Rollers decide that it is time to take a nap and visit the Shadow Seekers in a pre-arranged meeting in Ishamel's tower. They begin negotiations on a amicable outcome for both groups, who they know are tied to each other at this point from the Eurythmic veracities. And in those negotiations, it has come to that Kira will protect Franklin for 100 years, with that, by that time, Franklin will be led into the afterlife by Kiro, along with other details. At this point, the Rum Rollers are waking up on Adune inside the crew quarters, And there was one character that probably decided to hang around in the tower just for a little bit. Nimue and Aganon, who are hashing out details from having recently been reunited during the Rhythmic Veracity. Let's find out what happens this time.
So, for anyone that is unaware of Nimue and Agnon's backstory, they grew up together in the same royal household. She was the heir. He was a childhood companion curiosity kept around to occupy her time. As he got older, he joined the household staff and also secretly became part of a rebellion group out in the town. Seeing the injustice around her, Nimue ended up colluding with him to plot the peaceful overthrow of her own family. And it was supposed to be bloodless, had it unfolded as promised. The actual night ended in disaster, with a lot of the staff that she had grown up with dead around her. And not really knowing what had happened, she in part blamed Aganon. It was a time where they could not really have a moment to talk and explain. He had to run, and she had to formally exile him for his own safety. So they've spent the past few years her hating him and also missing him, and him hating her for not letting him explain and also missing her. But then with Eurythmic and the blending of minds, I see it as the ultimate empathy, where you fully see the other person's perspective and where they're coming from. And I guess I see that as them fully understanding each other in that situation. So they'll spend the probably a few hours discussing what happened that night, how he didn't know what the rest of the rebel group had planned. He was kept in the dark, and how he wouldn't have never have let it happen the way it did. And then her explaining that her actions were in his best interest as well, even though it hurt her. And then, of course, again, if no one has read that backstory, she ended up having a child. I want to say probably 7-ish months after the rebellion that he never knew about because he was gone. So they spend hours discussing their son and what they plan to do when they go back home, how she'll safely integrate him back into public view, and their plans for basically repairing his image and trying to live the life that they've wanted. And yeah, that's what they're doing before they decide to wake up.
All right. Well, do we want to roll initiative to see who's waking up first, or is everyone just waking up slowly together here?
I'm fine with the letter.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a. I note that Kiro isn't in the cat pile. Very sad. Order breakfast.
I got no issues.
Wrap up and wait for orders from
So
the
wait,
captain.
this is the. Yeah, these are it's the good campaign, right? So it's rural. So does.
Yep.
Okay. The we're still like, so we're in a Dune's new, right? Like big beautiful, renovated self, right? So we can all kind of see each other, right?
Yeah.
So, you guys fell asleep in different locations. Nimue and Grandam look like they were in the common room where the couches were, whereas Rarl was over watching Ciro, who and well, his brothers are over there watching Zero, who had been mixing up some stuff to try and recreate the intergalactic moonshine, and
Spaghetti sauce rules.
Rarl and Mame are actually in the hammocks, the actual sleeping quarters. So guys are in slightly different locations, but still all within easy range of each other.
I start yowling for assistance. My siblings come over and they lift me out of the hammock, bring me downstairs. They dress me, and they feed me, and they bathe me. While we discuss. Oh, Captain. That was an interesting meeting. What do we do? We're on our way to PNC, but we've also been told not to. But also have a secondary plan. What do you want to do? Where we should get the others.
Sounds
to...
like a conundrum. Yeah, I think we should discuss.
Yeah.
So Nimue wakes up across one of the couches, probably, dress all rumpled, hair in disarray. She sits up kind of confused, looks around to make sure no one is there to witness, and promptly starts smoothing her skirts and running her fingers through her hair and kind of composing herself. What does she see, Grandam? Is he like sprawled on the floor drooling?
Grandam is directly cross-legged, looking like he's watching her be disheveled, when in reality he is just sleeping with his eyes open.
I imagine she's starting this routine before she notices him, and like as she scans the room, she sees him and almost flies out of the seat. And again, looks around to make sure no one saw that.
His eyes do not follow.
She kind of leans forward and waves her hand in front of his face a little bit.
Probably with a sound of snoring following that.
He's like groans as he stretches. And then for the first time ever, you see him blink normally.
She jumps again.
And
kind of takes a step back.
good morning.
Oh. Hello there. Are you feeling well? Have you recovered? Do you remember anything?
Am I still drunk now that I'm back?
I wouldn't say so, actually. I may have started off the session if we'd been the last time
fair
around,
enough.
but since we skipped a session, I figured time moves forward. And you guys were...
Yeah, it's a damn shame.
Oh, splendid. At least you got through this hole.
I have a bad idea.
Do tell.
So, where's the smart people? I need the people that know what the hell's going on.
I will not take offense at this.
Not that, no. They've been here for a while. You've been here about as long as I've been here.
Understandably. That's why I will not take offense at this. But I believe they are still awaking. We should go and find them. What do you say?
What the first I think the first Grandam is hearing about this, like actually hearing about this contract, was from this meeting with the PNC. Like he kind of heard about it whenever the zombies showed up, but he didn't really understand it, and that he was a part of all that bullshit.
Yeah, probably after Eurythmic Veracity, because he had the mind meld with his with all of selves there too, and hearing everybody else talk about it, like you said. That's probably when the Rawls are coming in, I would guess, to get breakfast, to find breakfast from Adune.
One of them comes in and hands you guys like a very intricate, ornate, elaborate breakfast invitation. You get one every morning.
Oh. It will never not bring joy to Nimue. Particularly if it's nice stationery with some...
oh, yeah. Grandam thinks it's part of the meal.
Gold leaf.
Highest quality. Oh, yes. Goddamn, you're not supposed to eat that. I've had to go to edible gold filigree because of you, because I care about your bowels, You just keep eating gold.
I appreciate your
I'm
efforts.
not that rich. I walk away.
She leans over and kind of under her breath asks him, "Does it taste good?"
Tastes like breakfast.
The boy covertly rips off a little corner and tries it,
It's delicious.
making sure
It
that he's
tastes
the
like
only one
vanilla
witnessing.
cupcakes.
Can it please taste like cupcakes?
Oh yeah.
100%.
She's
It-
pleasantly surprised.
It tastes better whenever I decide to eat it as a silverfish.
Creative. So is it?
Where?
Is Verl still here,
I can be.
or did you walk
I
off?
was just trying to. I was collecting people for breakfast. So
Okay,
if you
I
would like
asked because
to
if you walked off,
Grandam
I feel like we would have
going
followed if
to-
you left.
Grandam is going to take like a big handful of bacon, shove it in his mouth, and then walk up to Rarl, and with his greasy fingertips, like reach up and gently touch his cheeks, just like to grab his face. Why
Like,
didn't you
scrunch up
tell
my
me
face.
about the contract?
What contract?
The one with the fucking necromancers.
Oh,
Was it not presented to you upon arrival?
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you, man. The only one here who knows anything about it is the Admiral.
I requested the contract when I first arrived and read through it before signing.
You signed that?
You can sign it.
We had to.
It's like an automatic thing.
If you stick around, I didn't actually physically sign it, but because I stuck around, I had nowhere else to go. By default,
Can
my name
we
was
even?
added.
So we show up. Can we even do anything
About what? The contract?
about the
No,
people?
because
Like, do we have to go become gods to even fight them?
I mean,
Do we
I
have
think
to
it's our best
become
shot.
different people?
I guess I'm confused. There's the PNC, and they
Yeah.
are big in the bed.
Yes.
We technically are part of them.
Yes.
That was the default contract when you first arrived.
Yes.
Nobody
You were
told
spawned
me. You
in
think I
with the
read that?
contract. I know it was terrible. It's like you come in and you just already have this contract.
It's
a
like
birth
society.
contract. Yeah. I get a
Options
light
were
bulb
not presented.
idea.
And now I'm questioning, what is our objective? What are we doing? Are we just going to go cause problems and then get our souls ripped out of our bodies?
Well, no, I think that was the genius of Franklin's plan. They're going to do it, not us. They're
Then what are
not
we
part
going
of
to
the
do?
PNC. We gave them what they needed, and now we need to probably, I don't know, hinder them, or
Are we allowed to hinder? Or does the contract say anything about hidden?
I don't know.
I do not believe it said anything about not hiring
Perpetual
mercenaries.
servitude, shared goals. I have a
So
stupid idea.
Mime's gonna like saunter closer at this point. Mime's like gotten out of their hammock and stretched and like done the things and is just like walking over.
Gabble.
So like
Admiral.
carry on the conversation. Just know Mime's approaching.
I've got a stupid idea, and it
Oh.
might work.
Here's the Admiral.
I've got a stupid idea.
Please share.
I
What
like
if-
stupid ideas, but we should hear about them first. For the record, I also did not. So as the rum rollers signed up for this contract, right? Not necessarily us as individuals. So yes, you agreed to the contract because you are a rum roller. I also did not explicitly ask for this contract. This is also
Were
something that
you
was
there?
shoved. No, I was not. The rum rollers
Oh.
decided.
Are there
I had nothing
So
anybody
this was
here
like
that
a
was?
previous in like a version, a previous iteration of the Rum Rollers,
Like
Bad
I mean,
idea.
it's the same rum rollers.
right?
you
It's
existed
like
at
the
that
Black
time.
Company,
I existed. I was not there the day they interacted with the PNC. I came back in
Oh.
the PNC. We had talked to them, and there was this thing signed. Right, because that was around the time of the cake incident.
I
Yep.
have, I have
Yeah.
an idea, and it's
And it-
batshit. But the contract says
I mean, the
that
batshit idea might be the thing we need.
we're bound
Do
to
tell.
this thing, and it becomes null and void when everyone, including Adune, is dead.
No.
We're gonna drink some Kool-Aid?
I have a spell that makes us come back as different people.
Different how?
Same brain, different everything else. Basically, Grandam is proposing that we kill ourselves and cast resurrection to become different people.
I guess then the question is it bound by body? Like, what is it connected to?
And like, because for
Mime-
resurrection to
Mime-
work, you die. Like, it has to be
Mime
a
looks
dead
at
body.
Grandam and was like, could I be tall?
I can't make any promises.
Mm.
Can
like
you
a
resurrect
Sorry,
in the
Sorry,
same
you'll be
body?
taller. This is a bad idea. It's a stupid.
Before we kill ourselves,
So-
we should make sure this is a good idea.
But also, looking over the contract, like the only other loophole I can possibly see is that we just take off our torques and stop calling ourselves the Rum Rollers and leave a day behind.
Well, the intent was anyone who has worn the torque,
Take it off, throw it over the side of the boat.
but we have worn it.
So,
That was the intent.
Yeah,
of the
but like,
contract.
how
We're still
does one
bound.
quit? The Rum Rollers are bound. How does one quit the Rum Rollers? That is an interesting question.
And I didn't even join the Rum Rollers intentionally. I was put here,
it was
as
kind
were
of
all of us.
like join for one day, one adventure. Me. I like. What is an adventure really? I'm still on my first adventure. I haven't participated in more than one.
But you all have stayed, right? Anybody could have left at any time. You've all been here.
I wasn't.
Don't act like you
it's
haven't
true.
been having a
Hamilton
great time.
left.
I was not informed of a fucking.
Was everyone
Yeah.
not informed of the contract upon arrival?
I was
I
not.
They
didn't
were.
know
It's just in
about
the
it
small
until
print.
months
No one.
later.
All of you just hit accept the terms and conditions. Nobody read shit. Don't lie to yourselves.
What he presented me with shit. I was chased up a mast by this big fella, and then I was welcomed aboard, and that was that. I was like, okay.
I think
I
you
sat
tend
I'm
to
gonna
outside
deploy
that
this. This will
before
be
that.
fun.
Adune
I
would
sat
chime
outside
in
that
at this
suspicious
point
closet for an entire day reading the contract.
while finishing
Wow.
up some of the breakfast that anyone would want and or is asked for, and she goes, I have had a little bit of time with the contract, so I do know some things, but that first one, I would like to draw your attention to perpetual servitude.
Yeah, that's a bitch.
It goes beyond physical death and binds the servant's soul to the principal's eternal will. I
Of
think that's
course it does.
I think the death one might be out. I'm also not interested in dying.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, you did just have a kick-ass makeover. I don't blame you, Aduna.
Like, I wasn't
The
a
only
fan
way
of
is-
the plan, but when you're dealing with shit this, where like even the loopholes aren't loopholes because the contract can rewrite itself, apparently. Like,
The PNC is powerful shit, man. That's why we made a deal with them instead of trying to fight them the first time we encountered them, if I recall correctly.
Yes,
I heard
that
they
is-
have a
that
direct
is what
conduit
happened.
to God.
yeah, me too.
So what if we just go the other way?
What do you mean?
Like, do we have to confront the PNC? Can't we just like run away? Running away is always an option, right?
Part of me
Yeah,
doesn't
but
like
we're
giving.
limited to the inside this solar system currently.
I really
And-
don't
Isn't
like
it a
the
big
idea.
solar system?
I
I
mean,
don't
it is
like-
until they leave.
I don't like the idea of leaving up the future of this entire multiverse to that other group.
This seems super trustworthy to me.
I'm
Uh-huh.
unaware of where my home world falls in this multiverse, so I'm not a fan of condemning this one either, because my home might be in it.
Right. So, I mean, okay. Does the
I mean, we
contract
essentially have the
punish
world's
us for doing
best-
something against the PNC? Right. What are the limits of our actions? Because
Well,
we have yet to
seeing-
be punished for killing those vampires,
And we've yet to be punished for hiring mercenaries.
right?
So maybe as long as we don't physically act against them. Well, I guess we attacked
We've
the
done that.
vampires. But do they know? So they are not omnipotent. They must not know that was us.
I haven't found anything in the contract explicitly stating such. I think the one thing I would draw your attentions to is item number 5. In the event of dispute, both parties agree to mediate in good faith. I don't know what that means, but if mediations fail, the matter shall be resolved by righteous combat. So there's always that.
Righteous combat? That's fun.
So it sounds like having god powers would be very helpful.
Sure, but
I already agreed not
we
to
would
do that.
we would be
I
gods
don't
then.
do that.
Some of us have already signed another contract that says we won't do that.
Oh yes,
Sounds like we just need to
very-
stop signing goddamn contracts.
Yeah. I did not sign that
There's only
contract, so
two.
I do plan to proceed to godhood.
I'm
Yeah,
illiterate.
so how many gods does one need? Can we just have one? If Nimue becomes a god, is that like enough? Can they be the patron god of the rum rollers?
I mean, I
The
could fill
other
those
part
shoes.
of the contract we signed was that then the gods would be leaving and never coming back.
I
How
mean,
many
Is it a
contract written?
one-for-one trade?
Does
if
it
one
mean
of
the
us
current
becomes
gods?
Yeah, if one of us becomes a god, do we like just displace one? So like if 5 of us become gods, or 5 gods displaced, or is like a one winner takes all?
So the way that I had it written down was that the second contract was that we would negotiate either in good faith or through force that all gods leave this solar system and never return in any shape or form.
okay. Does the
by
contract
birth.
forbid the pursuit of being a god?
I believe that's what we had agreed to. I have a draft.
Grandam is cool with becoming a god and then just leaving once everything's done.
True. I mean, that's true.
If he
If
doesn't
we
belong
could,
to
I mean,
the
if the end result is that we need to vacate this solar system by the time it's done as a key factor in the second contract, then could we ascend and then immediately leave?
We have autonomy so long as we don't dispute shared goals. Where does it discuss the mutual domination of all worlds?
That is their goal.
But where is that discussed anywhere else? Mutual between who?
The Shadow.
Yeah, what if we just take over leadership of the PNC? We could. That could be our new goal. We could just infiltrate and like rise up in the ranks of the PNC and take it over and change their goals.
Well, here's the thing. If we're already in the PNC, if we kill all of the PNC, who's in charge? Us.
Us? Are we then no longer the rum rollers? Have we then transitioned from being the rum rollers to the PNC?
I think we are still
Us
the Rum
fulfilling the
Rollers and
contract?
the Wish faction, but we are now the only and leading faction
we have a
inside
copy
the
of-
PNC, and then we could just let ourselves go.
Do we have the copy of the Necronomicon of Eternal?
That contract?
Do you mean the Book of Vile Darkness?
Oh.
The
That's the one that Franklin has.
or sometimes referred to as the Employee Handbook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
you
one that
have-
Franklin has.
You
Wait,
can look that. You can literally look that one up. I think that's the thing that you can look up.
Yeah.
Unless I created that as well, that might have been something I created. Let me check. I might have done that.
Grandam
It's
now
been-
wants to
been a
know
minute.
like what the internal of like what the procedure is for
Can you
like
give me the-
acquiring higher ranks inside the PNC.
Nimue would
gonna
also
turn
like
into
a
Here's the
copy
separate-
thing: we just have to like join the organization, work for them, work hard, aspire rise up through leadership. After
they-
30 to 40 years, we'll be in middle management.
Yeah. Do we have to like? Is this a pull yourself up by your
Our
bootstrap
children.
organization, or is this a like very Sith like keep what you kill kind of organization?
Kind of keep what you kill, but now that you're part of it, so just loosely speaking, with my understanding of it so far, there is supposed to be. That's why they had asked for those sacrifices, because there is supposed to be a division of spoils, item number 4. What am I looking though? Oh, Necronomic.
We have actively attacked them.
Is there something that's against that? I don't remember at this point. I don't.
We're not
remember
allowed to
being
act
anything-
I
against
feel like-
their interests.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
interests are
We
domination.
can't move
their-
against them
Their
dominating
interests
all
are our
world.
interests.
Okay, so here's the deal then. If we are allowed to fight them, if acting against the interest, if we personally believe that the current management isn't doing a good enough job, then it is in the interest of the PNC for us to overthrow them so that we can.
Okay, because at this point, like, we are the PNC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Hear me out here. Hear me out here. We become gods, take over the PNC, and then to abide by the other contract, we leave, and to continue to abide by this contract, we go begin to conquer other worlds.
Yes, but wasn't the second contract included stopping the PNC from leaving? So if you become gods and you're the PNC,
You're
you
breaking both
must
contracts.
leave and can't leave.
Ooh, do we like rip a hole in the space-time continuum? Is that how we? Is
Well,
that the end?
But once
if
we
you
are
are
the
the
PNC,
CEO
we
of the
can release
PNC,
ourselves from the contract.
yes. If you become a CEO of the PNC, you can release yourself. Yes.
Yeah, and then we can dissolve the PNC, and then we can leave.
CEO of PNC, then is it?
Yeah, then we wouldn't be
if
PNC if it's
keep what you
dissolved.
kill, if it's keep what you kill, then that's pretty easy. Let's do it. But
Okay, but
However,
that
Adune,
brings us to the
Except-
question: how do we kill them?
Yeah, except apparently they're like mega powerful. They're a real big bad.
I could still become a god.
Yeah, who signed and who did not?
So what is the deadline on like becoming a god and then leaving? Right? Do you like, is it like graduation where you graduate and you hang out for like a week afterwards? You like stick
Well-
around, or is it like you immediately ascend to godhood and then poof, you're gone?
Adune,
Well,
do you have
the-
a copy of this contract?
The
Yeah,
agreement was that the thing is that we're caught between two, right? You could ascend to godhood if you were just on contract 1 and never leave. But if you sign contract 2, you're duty bound to try to get them to leave and never come back.
This is the only copy of the contract. It has been proven to be indestructible.
So let me find the one I wrote.
Poor Shia, who originally did the signing, did come back at one point for a brief time and tried this route.
So, if I become a god and everyone is duty bound to try to get me to leave, the contract
Duty.
just says to try to get me to leave, so just periodically they could ask nicely. And that fulfills the contract.
But it also says through negotiation or violence.
Or they could still choose
Or-
negotiation. They have the
Sure,
choice.
but
There's
like
an
if
or.
negotiation doesn't work, I mean, they can't just be like,
Why not?
"Oops."
Is it in the contract?
Or is exclusive. It's not and or.
It's
Here,
at the.
let me find the one that I wrote.
I found it now. The Necronomicon of Eternal Life is at the last 4 or so pages of the contract. It explains the core tenets of the PNC, ethical guidelines, interplanetary domination strategy.
There's an
oh, it
ethics to
extends beyond that.
interplanetary domination.
Uh huh.
I didn't realize that the document went past the signing by the runners.
Yep. That's
The
where
what?
I was getting confused as well. I knew I'd done something with the Necronomicon, now that you mention it. And those are two separate things. So the Necronomicon is like their like employee handbook. Like how to be a part of the PNC.
What if we just interpret everything in the Necronomicon wrong?
I mean, religions do it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
all we have to do
provide-
is just read one sentence that we want, right?
Take it
And
completely
then-
out of context, twist it
Yeah.
a little bit, tell stories about it that aren't necessarily true. But
Makes
we
people
believe that they are
scared.
true.
Translated
Yeah.
across a
People
few
have
different languages, so the nuances of those words are lost.
Yeah.
Have a
We
split,
could
a
do this.
reformation, split again because someone wants to have a divorce.
I have an idea. Okay. Okay.
Bracing myself because the last one was kill yourself.
So part of the Grandam's just sitting there with a cup of coffee and this big old tome of the Necronomicon.
Some reading glasses on the tip of his nose.
So one of the core tenets that we have is that we of goals to strive for is forming alliances with powerful necromantic factions in other in an intergalactic. We just got in trouble because I called my brothers. What if we trick them into calling my brothers?
And then what? They get summoned. They get the spaghetti monster summoned to them.
It's kind of like convince the spaghetti monster that these people are breaking intergalactic law.
Aren't they
Speaking
though?
of which,
Oh.
That's their
um,
plan. They're planning on breaking intergalactic
We could
law.
just tattle on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is a
hey,
real easy solution.
that's true. I mean, you could call your brothers again, summon that guy, and then we'd just be like, hey, we did this, yes, but we're calling you to tell on these other guys.
Or could I just cast the spell trying to contact the same spaghetti monster that came to me?
Ring, ring. Calling him on his home phone number.
Um,
I'm
At this
off duty.
At this point, too, Adune rolls out a giant-looking seed that was the remnants of what Mime had eaten after Lono had given you a grape,
Oh yeah.
and says, "I did find this because I think this and you asked this question, Admiral," and she points to the face of the seed, which has a map to Choi and the Isle of the Peninsula of Troy, the place you need to go to if you want to ascend, and a little note from Lono that's kind of inscribed into the seed as well, and says, "I believe that you could demolish the PNC at your current states, but be warned, Zenith is right in her fear. They have amassed a lot of power. The warning I have truly is if you were to become gods, there will be a acquiring stage, lasting potentially years, that you're in some sort of stasis when you gain your powers."
Gotta go into a cocoon.
So wait, okay, so like even if we want to become gods to stop this thing, we would have to go full Zelda and
Yeah.
hunker down for 100 years or whatever, and then
Right.
let them do whatever they want. Aren't we on a timeline? Right? These guys are about to escape our planet and then the system. We can't wait like
Hey
10
guys,
years.
don't worry. Lono believes in us. It's like the takeaway message Mime gets from reading this. I get really excited and just real red, just a big smile. Just Lono believes in us, guys. We can do anything, anything.
Who the fuck is Lono?
The best
Nimue
god
kind of
ever.
silently
Duh.
goes over and sits on a couch, and she's lost in thought.
You need some
So-
sort of time dilation thing to make this possible.
She looks up. If I have to become dormant for 2 years, I can't do this. We'll have to develop a plan that does not involve me ascending.
So I'm sorry. There's a big ass seed. I'm going to go check out the big ass seed. What is the big ass seed?
And we
It's
plant it.
an enormous grape seed from just purely looking at it. It does have a nice round shape to it that is alluring even to if somebody were to catch it out of their corner of their eye, being that of some sort of essence, it seems like.
It's a sexy seed.
Yeah,
Essence?
very juicy.
Nice and round.
Who did we get this from?
On the back side of the seed, Lono has inscribed "juicy" like that, written in that font from Victoria's Secrets that was across.
It even
but-
has a tramp stamp.
That's a nice seed, you might say. Nice and round.
Nice and thick.
So it's just a big
Nice
grape
in the
seed?
sense.
There's no way it's just a big grape seed.
We should plant it and see what
That
happens.
a big seed showed up out of nowhere. Too much for Grandam to take as a coincidence.
With a message.
He peddles
Yeah.
in big weird seeds.
We know someone who liked the big weird seeds before. He was a squirrel. She?
Where is the seed?
I guess
On
I
the
could
map?
put a representation. Yeah. Adune rolled it out from somewhere, so probably in the kitchen area somewhere where you guys were mostly gathered. It seemed
Like,
like.
how
too.
big are we talking here?
1 moment. Loading.
Beep. So there is the other option for how we handle this situation. And it is the option that got presented to us. We hope we put either one of us or someone else on the ship with the PNC as they launch off, and we blow them straight to hell from there.
But I thought we were warned against attacking them so early.
No, not attacking them. I'm saying, what do we know about their movements? They are all going to pack aboard this ship of theirs, this spaceship, and leave from here and travel, and I point up at the sky, through space, to the moon. Right? Where is the best time to hit them? Not now, not in their place of strength, right? They have been there for a while. They are strong. We can't wait for them to get to the moon. That would be too late. You hit them in transit.
This also relies on them
have-
traveling in one ship. Do we know this?
No, we don't know anything. We're completely guessing right now. We need more information, but we need someone on the inside, and the only way to do that is to go to hell itself.
If only I knew how to cast legend lore, but I'm a fucking druid.
I hold up a business card. We have a direct link to the other team. We could talk to them, but he don't know if you guys trust them or want to cooperate. Because their idea, not saying it is the one we must do, is that since they are not part of the PNC, they could, take actions against them to stop them from leaving and disturbing more worlds. If I believe correctly, they could probably get aboard and launch the giant holy bomb that we have. But
Sounds
that
like
a plan.
relies heavily on trusting them.
What if we launch the holy bomb first?
From the outside, yeah, I think the idea is you want to do it inside the ship so that, the airtight, watertight ship completely fills with holy water and then everything dies.
Mhm.
If you shoot it from the outside, which is where we are, it will not be so effective.
I mean, all we have to do is poke a hole in the ship.
Yes, but I guess I don't know. I don't know their ship, right? Could they block off sections of it if, they see us coming?
And because we only
I
have
mean,
one
that's
of
a great
these,
option. We could sneak aboard, right? And do this. But right now they are in hell. And we would have to wait for them to literally escape just to have the opportunity to do this.
I'm okay with coordinating with hats off. What do the Rem Rollers call the people in hell?
Shadow Seekers.
Shadow Seekers, sorry. I'm okay with coordinating with the Shadow Seekers. I trust at least a few.
I mean, biggest thing for them is they likely want to get out, right?
So if the PNC is
That
trying
makes
to also leave hell, and they start to infiltrate the PNC, that aligns with their interests. And then some of them leave hell when the PNC leaves, and one goes aboard the ship.
Only one.
Right. Or
Feel like
however
everyone
many
wins.
is needed.
Mhm.
That was the original agreement, and I pointed the contract that I posted. Was that the PNC is exploded from the inside. So once they stop them from leaving the solar system and we kill all of the PNC, then the next part kicks in. But their idea was, sneak aboard, blow it up from the inside.
And I don't think it's a matter of trust. They've signed a contract.
Right.
They have to cooperate.
So,
It is a complicated situation.
It feels like the path is already laid for us by the
I'm
contract we
going,
all agreed upon. No?
I'm going to be frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Hello, Frank. Good that you found your
We've agreed to work with them. Don't trust them that well, but then again, I gotta trust them. It's weird that orc fella lives partly in my mind now. It sucks to be him. Contract be damned. If my soul gets wrenched out of my body for doing what needs to be done, so be it. I'm not going to sit on my ass and wait on them to do something. So I say we go in, we play by their fucking rules, because they have these rules. Tell you what, one of my favorite things is breaking those. And we fight them in every way we can. We instill. Oh, that's a big seed. Holy fuck.
That's
Oh.
a delay. I like the delayed reaction from him. He finally looks over. Whoa.
We go in.
See.
We get
Wait
into
a
as many
second.
arguments as we can. Because we're an independent faction. We get into as many arguments as we can. We can't resolve those arguments because even though we went in with faith, we kick the other
Bunch
person's
of
ass.
duels.
We instigate as many duels. We make it chaotic on the side. We drive them to fucking madness until they have to do something about us as soon as they need to. We cast plant, grow plant, and I point at the big ass seed. At least I do.
Yeah, Mime's sitting there raising their hand this whole time, just sitting very patiently, but just like hand in the air, like a second grader that desperately wants to speak.
Yes.
think we need to plant the seed.
I can do that. Where?
First, may I?
Inside?
Nimue comes over, sits on her heels, and starts transcribing the map.
There's a
into
map
her,
on the seed?
Yeah. Into her journal.
Big seed. Yeah, let's plant the seed. I'm always down for planting big seeds.
It's probably too dim away when you pull out your own map to look at it and realize that in looking at this map, it propagates onto your godly map.
Well, that's handy.
Technology, man. Magic? Magic.
We should sail across the ocean to find the new lands. That the map
Come
is
sail
beautiful.
away. Come sail away. Come sail away with.
So I guess I'm a little hesitant to go in guns blazing in case we're not powerful enough at this point. Dune seems to believe in us,
That's why
but
we
the
don't
dragons
go.
cautioned us against this.
But Lono believes.
That's why
Not
we
both of
don't
them.
go in guns blazing. We go in to
With silencers?
no. We go.
No, we go in as the Wish
We
faction.
go in as Karens.
Yeah, we go in as the
Mm.
Wish faction, and then we pick a fight with individuals instead of everyone, and work within the bounds of their little holy justice war fighting thing, and we kill as many of the leaderships as possible.
So hats off for a second. Josh, is there a calendar year in Terrath right now? Do we know what year it is?
It's been discussed, and I think we would basically be at 55 AB, which is like after the last breaking.
55?
Yep.
Okay.
55 years after the last breaking. My mother, she was there in the breaking of the world.
So guys, we'll call it Project 56. We will systematically take over the PNC. So there's the Wish faction. What other factions do we know about?
That's it. I mean, the big army of zombies.
Wasn't it
There
any
has to be
interrogation?
factions.
None that you guys would know of. Just hats off.
If we do this, we'll have to redecorate their ships so that we fit in, right? And all wear cool black outfits with hanging chains and gothic stuff, right? It'll be cool.
Do I need eyeliner?
Costume change.
And sorry, I misspoke. By go in
Grandam
guns
does a
blazing, I mean
magical girl
fight it all.
transformation.
Oh. You don't want to fight them at all?
No, I meant I'm not sure we are strong enough to even pick fights once we enter peacefully. I hope we are.
We have to
But we were
size
cautioned
them
by
up.
gods against this.
I think we were cautioned against going in guns blazing against the towers.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna go guns blazing anyways. I would destabilize the base and then cast Earthquake.
I think the idea is this time, instead of going in and, trying to root them out from the outside like Helm's Deep,
We
You
treat
would
it
do
more
something.
like Moonrise Towers from the Baldur's Gate video. How do I know about that?
You were at your end, man.
Yeah,
It's
he
weird.
would actually have
get a headache
memories of
and a
that.
nosebleed.
Yep. Headache and a nosebleed.
Welcome. I hand you some ibuprofen. There's a big bucket in the corner.
And here I was thinking that this was gonna. I thought it was. This is weirder than being almost identical to 1,000 other people. And really identical.
Nimue remembers something about trying to find Moonrise Towers and something about a beholder.
That's it. We get a beholder and we let it live. Grandam pulls out a Pokeball. Guys.
Yeah,
That's right.
not just any Pokeball.
Guys, I have an idea.
Oh, that's a cool ball.
What's your idea?
Is there any? Would it be acting against the PNC if we found a big, powerful thing, put it in this ball, and let it loose in the tower?
Not if
mean,
we
that's-
really believe in our hearts that we're not acting against the PNC.
Right.
You just gotta
Well,
say it
it's-
enough until it's true.
It's for their own good that we kill
Yep.
them all.
Project 56. That's totally what
It's
we're
the
about.
it's the rule of two, right? You know, we're like Bane, and
Listen.
we, for the good of the PNC, there should be only
They
one
have lost their
faction,
way.
our faction.
Also, the council would be really mad at me if they knew I was working, guy.
That counts.
The council.
Oh, are they like a housing organization? I hate the HOA.
Yeah,
We
the
tried to paint our house bright pink once, and they said no.
It's more for the moments like this where there's people trying to do things they really shouldn't be doing. Multiverse.
Okay.
Isn't that what the
Never
spaghetti
heard of it.
monsters are for?
Yeah.
I guess. It's weird
Those
we get
guys.
ran-
If one of them comes again, we catch it in a Pokemon.
Am I in a different multiverse?
That's not a bad
Was
idea.
that a grown-up flump?
That's brilliant.
And we release
And
it
then
once
we just huck
weasel our
them
way.
at the
Yeah,
the
with that
PNC.
idea, Grandam is 100% casting contact other plane.
Oh, God damn.
Wait,
Leroy Jenkins.
Hats off. Like Pokemon, does the ball give you control or like mastership of the creature that you catch?
No, you got to get all your badges and conquer the
Gotta beat
the Elite
Kanto
Four.
region.
Yeah, got to beat the Elite Four, man.
I mean, if you're gonna build that mechanic into being able to control the creature in the Pokeball, it's gotta be in the world.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
and
put the
part of it,
restriction on you, you have to make
Part-
us be able to do it.
part of that restriction
What
would
if you
definitely
use it on a god?
would be being tied to being a god. Gods are tricky.
Could
when
you
it comes
catch a
to-
god?
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Pokemon.
What we need is we need to catch them all.
Catch
Well,
a
we
what?
have the giant squid monster. He still
Yeah, the
lives
squid
in a
monsters are
bottle.
basically. We have 2 Pokemon.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need
so-
at least 6.
Josh, are you saying
A balanced
that there
team.
is a way to control the creature you catch in this
Josh,
world?
are you saying that there's a Pokemon League in Aerith?
I'm serious here. If you're going to build this restriction and describe a mechanic to get around the restriction, the mechanic's got to be real.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something like that. You guys, I'm trying to remember if any of you
We're
have run
switching
into
the
them.
game. We're now Pokemon trainers.
I'm
Sorry,
trying to-
Socrates. We're off to the Kanto region.
Only if I get a cool
Fuchsia
hat.
City. Where's Professor Oak? That old dog. Him and my mom.
Please, it's your mom and Mr. Mime.
Josh, you don't have to answer now.
something that I could
Professor
build, but yeah, I mean that is
One
something
Ash gone.
that I would put as a restriction in general for the monsters that are being captured because
Yeah.
especially
Capturing
when
a
it comes
monster that we can't
it's-
control is much different than capturing one we can control.
exactly. I mean, it'd be like that's the analogy, and purposefully so that like if you were to just get a Charizard right off the bat, it's gonna
Right.
fuck your day up.
See giant skeleton monster in a cage in the other game.
Yeah,
Zero control over that thing.
yeah.
Just keep feeding it the corpses of the dead. Hopefully one day we'll be able to release it.
Oh, so that's a lot more like falconry. So really, we have a raptor, right? It's not our friend, but if we feed it enough, maybe it'll start doing our bidding.
Yeah, so Josh, I need a mechanic about how we can work our way up to controlling any creature that we catch. Like, what do we got to do to build that skill?
The first
Its
that I had
CR
was
has
about
to be within range of our CR.
Yeah,
We have
that,
Definitely want
that,
to sit
that,
down
that makes
next to it for a while, let it get used to your presence, probably read to it for a while, maybe try to walk it around the yard.
Feed it.
I think
Feed
I
it
think
lots
we're
of good treats.
I think where Jake's head's at actually makes a lot of sense. Is where my brain was going with the second part of it. It'd have to be based upon your character's level, basically.
And the
So
animal handling.
yeah, well, that's a good point. I mean, um, there would probably just have to be a successful animal handling at some point. Um,
Gotta roll.
because that's kind of how, thinking back even farther, that's how Thea, some of you guys might remember that name, actually, only Olivia, but anyways, got Gunther to be her familiar. And if you remember
I love
when you
that.
got your cricket, that's how you got your
Mhm.
cricket. There was a successful animal handling that was involved. So
I remember that because I reached out to them with my mind and asked them to be my friend while they were eating me alive.
So it is technically
that's right.
possible to control the spaghetti monster if you roll high enough and you are high enough level.
Look at me. We're the space police now.
Wait, didn't we get the ability to someone has the ability to always roll 20s during a session.
It's
Uh,
Who has that?
That would be, who was that? Well, I think the only other thing that happened, if I remember correctly, is Rick and George, and Rick won that, so that'd be a Rick
And we
thing,
need
I
to know
believe.
if a 20 plus his animal handling bonus is even enough for the DC.
Right.
Which you wouldn't just know.
Yeah.
And I would have to tell you.
Mhm.
You gotta fuck around and find out for that one.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Like because you could make it something astronomically
Imagine
high,
trying to
like a 50
summon-
or something.
No risk, no
Yeah.
reward.
Imagine trying to like you call 911, summon a police officer to your house, try to kidnap the police officer and fail. What do you think's going to happen?
So
True.
circling back around, is Faust actually casting this? It's sounded like.
God.
Well, okay, technically it's an automatic, we will arrest the police officer. We will catch it. The question is, can we control it if we let it out of the ball? That's the question here, not
The other
if we
question
can
is,
catch
do
it.
we need to?
Yeah, I think there's two. Yeah, you can either huck it at the PNC from a great distance, right?
Also, Grandam is a druid. He's going to be fine.
Dude, go get yourself a flying spaghetti monster. It's canon now, baby.
Heart of the cards.
This
Part
is
of the cards.
happened to one of my characters that this pulls off. All right, it's the most fitting thing ever. Yeah,
Before
Grandam's
we go
gonna
get
You gotta
Sexy
believe,
Satan.
Yugi.
Grandam's gonna go up on deck and try and cast contact other plane again.
We should go capture
go-
Sexy Satan.
I'm gonna go stand behind him and eat popcorn.
And in the
Like Michael
process,
Jackson.
Yeah.
going to ask that they find a way of that the council find a way of getting here because he needs backup.
I need to
Mime's
move
gonna
this.
stand right next to Rarl and also eat popcorn.
Oh, here.
And
This
before
one is
we upset
caramel.
the spaghetti monster, we should first tattle on the PNC. Because maybe we don't have to control him to do this. Maybe he'll just go and punish them.
If punishment is making them drink booze, that's not really.
Yeah, that was a great punishment. 10 out of 10, one of the best raves.
But if they drink the booze, they'll lose all their powers. Then that might make them weak enough for us to conquer them.
Oh.
So if we make a deal with, we ask the spaghetti monster to strategically do this when we are poised to strike.
So you know how we have the holy bomb full of holy water? What if we replace it with spaghetti sauce instead? Or what if we make two? One with holy water and one with spaghetti sauce.
What is the
That's not a
spaghetti
bad
sauce do?
idea.
You lose all your magic.
Oh, right. That's the drink. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a solid option. If we can get a jar of magic spaghetti sauce, an endless jar of magic spaghetti sauce.
It's not actually booze. It's just something they excrete.
Mm.
So
This
much
is
Much
my
less
shit.
delicious.
This is my excrement.
Just tastes like
They're just
pasta water.
bacteria.
And if they intend to continue breaking intergalactic law, maybe that warrants a different punishment than just the sauce. We should ask these questions when we summon him.
Maybe they
But
get the
here's the
cheese
thing.
grater.
Okay, here's the other. Here's a wrinkle. We summon the flying spaghetti monster, and we say the PNC is trying to escape this planet, and they're committing crimes. We're the PNC,
We're the Wish faction.
but we're still part of the PNC. Will we?
So-
It like what is the risk that this thing will be like? You are also guilty, and then attack us.
We can't snitch on them without breaching.
Snitches do get stitches.
Well, it's not a physical
We
action.
would have to have the other team do the snitching.
They don't have the ability to call the spaghetti monster.
No.
Can we call the spaghetti monster in the Infinite Tower?
But you, Grandam, you can call your other version of you, and they can call.
I thought that's what called the spaghetti monster.
No, but the problem is he can't be the one. I point at our Grandam. He can't be the one to tattle. He can't. It goes against their interests or whatever.
Yeah, the Grandams do view themselves as one entity for the most part, so he could contact them and like. It's not tattling if I'm just telling myself.
And I don't see why we can't tattle. We've already hired mercenaries and attacked vampires. How is this any different?
That's fair. I mean, we don't
Didn't
know we
do
can't
the
tattle.
vampire attacking?
Yeah, we did that.
What?
Yeah, we attacked the vampires, I thought.
Yeah.
Ow.
And we're not dead yet. I
Yeah,
flew
and
at
we
them
hired
and I
mercenaries.
punched them.
Yeah, I think that's the point. We've already sort of breached the contract, so tattling is not
Right.
any more severe of a
So
breach of
does the
contract than what we've already done.
Does the contract bind us, or they like? What does
The
breaching
contract just says
actually
that
do?
we. I don't know. I mean, it says that if there's a conflict and they can't negotiate it reasonably with good faith, then holy fighting.
And I'm confused about why we haven't faced any sort of retribution or even questioning about the things we've already done.
I knock on wood.
Somebody's looking out for us, dude. Granddad's
Should we
casting.
roll for it? Oh, okay. Our Grandam's gonna act. That's good.
I'm getting me a spaghetti monster, dude. Let's see here. What do I
Okay,
need to
hand
roll?
out the popcorn.
Nimue is going to watch from afar. Thanks.
Okay. This
All right.
I look around. This campaign is crazy.
Mime's gonna look back at Nimue and be like, "But the popcorn's great."
All right, need to make an intelligence save. DC 15. Let's
Freshly
go. Actually, no. Let me read the whole guide.
Also, bring up those stats. I wasn't expecting this turn of events.
I feel like Josh says that every single time, every Tuesday.
I wasn't expecting you guys to take this obscure thing and just obsess over it.
The one time I DM'd the plot point that my characters were supposed to get their quest from, instead they threw them into a river.
Sounds
Like,
about
wow, so
right.
much from that.
My favorite in-character moment I've ever had was I was playing Good Franklin in the first game that I had created him for. It ended early. But the DM was trying to hand us like plot information, and we had just killed a bunch of enemies, and I had been sorting through their armor and gear and ran across a dagger that had a loose handle, so you could unscrew it, and it seemed hollow. And everyone was like, "Ooh, there's probably something in there." And then my character, being like 0 intelligence, 0 wisdom, was just like, "Oh, well, let me just tighten that up for them. Tighten, and chuck it into the pile."
Yeah, first I'm going to send cast message to, or not message, but sending to my brothers and sisters. That is a percentile. Basically, it's a 5% chance that it doesn't make them if they're on another planet.
Oh, a 5% chance that it doesn't make it through another plane. So you're not casting planar communication this time.
Oh, I'm going to cast that too.
Oh, okay. So you're casting both.
I'm casting sending to my brothers and sisters, which is what I should have done. Or there's probably female Grandams. Yeah, I'm casting sending to the council, and then I'm going to try and commune with other
Dog
planets with the
version.
spaghetti monster.
Okay, so you're going to try and
Directly.
contact this. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm calling the police.
And you're sending first. So your sending does seem to go through, as it doesn't have a direct contact portion through it, so it doesn't seem to trigger anything. I don't know if you have that, what you're sending through, that you want to say or do.
That there's like some really major and he could use, and I could use some backup, and also if anybody's like an expert in cosmic law, if we have any of the law branch of the council on retainer, I could really use some help.
A message does come back to you probably then before you cast the planar thing, and it's just communications are limited at this time. The council is outside of your range of regular communications. We can do minor things, but summonings are not part, basically.
It's very specific.
Boop, beep, boop.
For other languages, press 1.
Other languages are like deep speech and
Bush ring the ocean.
Just
all right. I guess I'm going to reach out to an expert on cosmic law directly.
There's a fox language. Doot, 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 doot,
And
doot, 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 doot.
since it is sending, it's more of like a text-based thing, and you get back a text message that's like attending.
It's like a
Attending?
chatbot.
What do you need,
Hi, my
brother?
name is Raoul. How can I assist you today?
I'm going to send him like of the full length of the contract and ask if there's any way to get around it, because like I did not like I've been subjected to it like against my
Did
will.
not consent.
And, yeah, did not
Unconsensual.
consent and really need to be unconsented, do unconsenting things. That sounds bad.
You get the 3 dots of that he's typing.
He's typing.
And then the dots disappear, and then the 3 dots come back, and then the dots disappear, and the dots appear, and then he says, "This will take some time."
A thumbs up emoji.
And you get a. I'm trying to dial into my inner Grandam there for you, and you'd probably just get a middle finger back, probably.
Well, that was rude.
Left on red.
Ace of Bung Worlds.
And then I'm guessing you're planar contacting, like you
Yep.
said, and trying to specifically. I need to go to that too to see how this works now.
I roll an intelligence save, and if I succeed, I get to ask 5 yes or no questions. We did it wrong last time, and you have.
Well,
to
I don't think it
yes
went
or-
through last time. That was the part that
Yeah,
ended
you
up-
went nuts.
That's true. That's true.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So
But it could work. Do it. And me eats another handful of popcorn.
Intelligence save. Boom.
Be smart. Be smart. Be smart. Me
21.
like intently staring at you. Yay!
I think that does it, right? Because you got to.
I needed a 15.
Oh yeah. All right. You mentally contact a dead. Okay. Okay.
This is the intergalactic police.
So I'm not allowed to call other dimensions? Question 1.
Boo-doo-doo. You have reached the intergalactic hotline. The first question you have asked is you're not allowed to contact other dimensions inside of the micropolis solar system. This is accurate. Besides, limited to minor texting and or similar attributed legal counsel.
Are you allowed to host intergalactic conquest from the micropolis system?
This
Question
reads
mark.
so much like somebody looking up how to build a bomb.
Intergalactic conquest at this time from the micropolis solar system is not allowed. Although, if your star shroud system is inhibited, it may be possible.
Star shard system?
Star Shroud.
Star shroud system. Okay.
So
Can
it
I
sounds
get
like
an
they have a way
officer
to
at my
destroy
location?
that.
I missed that.
Can I get an officer at my location?
Oh, that's only number 3.
I'm running out of questions. If somebody give me more questions.
What's the velocity of an unladen swallow?
And
If there's a punishment for continuous intentional intent to break into intergalactic law that is beyond spaghetti sauce. And the other one should be, can we get a jar of spaghetti sauce? Or unlimited jar.
Yeah, can we get a jar of spaghetti sauce?
What's the recipe?
And
Oh yeah, the rest.
It has to be yes
I
or
don't
no.
know if we want to know that. I don't know
Maybe
if we
instead
want
of
to know how
can
it's
we
made.
get, because then they can answer no, ask how can we get a jar? Because then they have to answer that.
But it has to be
How
yes or
can
no.
we get a jar? And then are there other God damn it. And then are there other punishments besides spaghetti sauce?
That's why I'm seeing if I can
Yes.
get an officer here.
an
Yeah, that's
officer
fair. Then
can
we can
be-
ask them as many questions as we want.
Yes, an officer could be sent to your location. Is there a crime being reported?
Yes.
Yes, and it's sensitive in nature. Cannot be trusted on this line. I
Please
see us all
hold.
just like crowding around him, just like whispering and commenting and just like egging him on.
Shoveling popcorn into my mouth. Shoveling
yo!
popcorn into Grandam's mouth.
100%. Grandad's eyes are open and they're just like voids as he stares into the empty nothing.
I start throwing Grandam or popcorn at Grandam.
Other
trying to
than
get him
that,
like his beard.
oh shit! Oh shit! Hello.
At that
I
point,
got what I asked for.
a meteor streaks across the sky and plops in front of a Dune who's been hovering in a bay above the clouds.
We haven't even
And-
moved since he last slapped our wrist, guys.
Flops.
And
Hey, thanks for
he-
coming back.
We had more questions.
one arm, you only guess because he holds it up and waves it back and forth in a non-threatening gesture.
It's in the air like you just don't care.
I've been reported that there is a crime.
Yeah, I legally can't talk about. Because of contractually can't talk about it. But if I were to leave this document here for you to inspect and read, could you do that for me?
The whole where his apparent eye is, that's kind of throbbing but also kind of meaty shaped and kind of closes and opens and then hovers closer and peers down at the document.
Mime whispers over quick while he's distracted. Throw the Pokeball.
I'm going to let him do his thing.
No, we
I'm
got-
gonna let him cook.
We have more questions. And he could just help us.
Let the spaghetti monster cook.
He goes, this document could be used in intergalactic court, but I cannot prosecute anyone based upon this. I would need to
Well-
catch them in the act of said transgression.
Would building a giant rocket ship to go build a space base be a transgression?
Negative. A space base is acceptable inside of the solar system.
What if it contains technology to then leave?
Conjecture. It isn't accurate to say that their technologies would be only intended for leaving. Their technologies could be used in any shape or form.
If this contract can be used illegally, like the basis of this contract is illegal in intergalactic law, is there anyone that can make it null and
Certainly, if you assign yourself an intergalactic law- lawyer, there are ways out of contracts of any sort.
can you
Just imagine a billboard popping up and materializing like, do you need representation? Call the
Yeah.
hammer.
That's exactly what happens. I love that.
Yeah. Let's go.
Were you subjected to a contract against your will?
Call my law firm. I can only imagine we cannot afford them.
or as he pronounces it, Blidman. All right. Can you recommend a good lawyer? I've already contacted the Council of Grandams, but they seemed a little stumped by it.
A good lawyer.
They don't seem to be the police force around here, which might be.
A good lawyer
That might
is
be telling.
fairly undefined in the search of the word lawyer.
Can you recommend a lawyer who would be effective at nullifying this?
Call Saul.
There are such inside your solar system, but they are off planet.
Do
You
you mean the
might-
gods?
Colloquially, I believe that is accurate.
That feels like a rigged system.
Can I make a religion check?
Absolutely.
Who would be a good god to get this contract nullified? Assuming I
Lono
don't know any
believes in
local gods.
us.
I don't know any local gods. So
Lono
Also, don't
believes
forget,
in us.
all of them are gone.
'cause it
And
doesn't really.
Zenith.
We've basically got a
Minneapolis.
spelljammer right here. What's your problem?
Pokeball. Pokeball. Pokeball.
Been helpful though. I say as Grandam throws the Pokeball.
It could be more helpful.
Yo!
I'm going to need an animal handling. I know that the
Does
Pokeball
just
work.
catching him off guard give us any advantage?
The Master Ball we've determined is an immediate no
Guarantee.
save guarantee catch, but the
Yes.
animal handling
27.
the animal handling
Gotta
was
catch
for
'em.
whether or not he's going to come out of the ball.
In a good mood.
Hostile or friendly?
And you see the ball fly through the air, and he just goes, "Well, guess I'm coming out later." And he goes, "Dunk, ching, 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 ching." Boop. And the ball floats back over to you with him inside it.
Wow. You just
Heck yeah.
you just kidnapped the international police agent.
We are the Pokemon Masters.
Are we the good guys or the bad guys?
Yes.
At this point, I don't know. We do have the contract talking about intergalactic. You know, we could just invade the universe instead.
Yeah. We
What?
could, yeah. Do we
What
want
if
to
we became
entertain
the-
the
what if-
idea of?
What if we
Just, you
became
know-
the baddies?
I just thought of the perfect line. As the ball clicks closed, you hear the faintest, I should stop answering house calls.
Don't worry, little buddy. Your time in here will be insignificant in comparison to the time of immortal.
So,
Also, if he's a four-dimensional, hyper-intelligent being, he should have seen it. Honestly, he knew. If he exists with visibility of all,
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong in some sort of fashion. There was
that makes this a consensual encounter.
It's always the thing. I'll share
Does that lower the DC of the handling roll?
Oh no. He's so to your even though his consigned consent that's not the right phrase I want to use. The downtrodden attitude when he got captured, he seems more or less consigned to his lot currently. Like
I like to imagine that he's happy, right? Like this image I just shared. He's in a recliner watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
books
inside-
off.
I'm a big fan of the
Inside
inside
of the
of the
ball.
ball being like paradise.
yeah, inside of the
Yeah.
ball for sure, but I'm speaking of when he gets called back out. That's
He even
what Emily
even
was
has a
asking.
GameCube.
That's what Emily is
Sorry.
asking is whether or not he's
Yeah.
going to be coming out swinging, and it doesn't appear at this point he will be. Gesundheit.
Oh, let's see.
Also, I just shared his stats, so have fun with that.
Sweet Jesus, where
So-
is
Yeah, I see this.
it? Flying spaghetti?
what I'm hearing is now that we have
Okay.
this guy, we just let the PNC get to the moon, set up their base, get ready to leave, and then we just drop him in.
Chaotic evil? Okay. Okay.
We can work with
But
it.
wait, I thought he would be lawful. He's a police.
Some of those stats aren't probably completely
Fair
accurate.
enough.
Never met a police officer.
I would say that he is
That's
ultimately
lawful.
Yeah,
Accurate.
lawful evil. Yeah, would probably be more accurate.
Mhm.
It was
He
it was
struck
more-
me as a monitor when we first met him.
pretty much.
like-
Yeah,
So like just lawful period.
Yep.
Lawful neutral.
pretty much.
I'm just following orders.
Yep.
Hospice trainer mastery. When the FSM casts crown of
Noodly appendage.
does not require concentration, and the FSM does not need to use its action to sustain. Fuck.
Legendary resistance. Get the fuck out of here.
That's a normal thing to creatures that high to have. Most dragons have it,
Yeah, it's mythic resistance we're not allowed to have.
Just choose.
which he has some mythic actions. So, just saying.
Oh, it's a she? Oh. Move over,
Sexy rat.
Foiled for your sins.
people.
Cheatsia.
Since
Chitsia, my love.
trait recharges after rest.
Got
Cheatsia
me
probably would
rethinking the
poke,
noodly appendage.
Cheatsy would probably poke her head up at the mention of her name though, and go, do I smell pasta?
Should I know what Chitsia is?
She's a sexy rat that
Mhm.
lives
Chitsia
in
is
his
the rat grand-
pocket.
Yeah, I think you may
Ah.
have missed almost all of the sessions that she was involved in.
The
It was
FSM X3 newly appended X.
She's
The
thick.
appendage plus. I do not think she's no. She is.
I'm out of cheese. I mean bread. Raul hasn't been feeding me cheese when you're not around.
What?
Boiling
The
pasta
target is
water.
restrained. The FSM has 10 newly appendages.
Josh, did you send the copy of the Gods Have to Leave contract somewhere?
Raul did.
I
Matt
just I posted it in the chat. I just did
Which one?
a Chat GPT one.
You can't. You should be able to save that out as
Oh.
like a document or something. That's
Yeah,
probably,
it's a text document. I'm just saying I had Chat
Oh,
GPT write it for me
I
because
got it.
Oh, Josh, I thought you wrote this contract.
No, this one was one that you guys strictly wrote between each other, so I let you guys define that. And
It
like
just occurred to me.
Matt was saying, this is the
it's up
draft.
for change. Obviously,
We might have fucked up. We could have used this and Pal Worlded our CEO.
Huh? What do you
And
mean?
what?
We could have used the Master Ball on the CEO and become CEO.
true.
Become
Do you
puppet
guys-
masters of the CEO.
Can
CEO
you
does
just
our bidding.
release this guy?
No, I like my spaghetti monster. I'm keeping him.
So we'll effectively use the spaghetti monster, and then like after he's out, we can use the master ball to catch the CEO, or depending on if the PNC is demolished or not.
I like that it can cast Hero's Feast.
I thought this was.
While they're
I was-
doing this, I'm gonna
Go ahead.
wander away and try something.
Oh, are you taking your popcorn with you?
No, I'll leave you some. Which one do you like? I've got caramel, white cheddar popcorn, regular cheddar popcorn. This is kettle corn.
White cheddar's the one for me.
Ugh, same. Here you go. I'm torn between that one and caramel. But the caramel's
That's
so
fair.
heavy. Right.
Doesn't sound like anyone's doing anything else other than admiring their new Pokeball. So if you want to go on and explain what you're doing when you wander away.
Sure. I take out the automaton with the Matt and I can't eyeball, and I take out the ring that I know that Raul now carries, and I put the ring on the automaton.
Wait, does Rarl have the ring?
Yep. I got it from Franklin after he attempted to bring me back and failed, and then I handed it back over during that like little side white stage thing.
Yeah, I just don't remember the ring getting passed around. I remember Franklin wearing it.
That's what I'd
Got it.
forgotten as well, but it was already discussed. So what? Do you remember what I had you? I didn't. I was probably too drunk when I came up with that. Because I don't remember.
It was you did something about like the possession thing from Bob.
Ah, thank you. That rings bells. I can go to Bob. Need to go.
Does anyone have guidance?
Yes.
No.
Uno momento. Do-do-do-do-do.
Fast spell.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Do I click this? No. How do I cast it? I'm just trying to cast it.
I normally just say it, and then
There we go.
when I roll, I get or
you
whoever
go.
it is gets a D4. Oh, there you go. Thanks.
Mhm.
Guess I should open up D&D Beyond today, huh?
Okay. Um. It's written as a charisma saving throw, and I think it's Matt, the wizard, is trying to save against the automaton's body and it resisting the possession.
Sure.
So it had, and I have a vague recollection that I had said specifically in this case too. It would be like both highest individual stats. Does that sound familiar? That so like Matt's probably would actually be intelligence, and the automatons. I can't remember what the automaton is stat wise.
Fuck if I know. D&D Beyond. It's like some sort of fire.
Oh right, yeah.
Automaton.
It's a flux blast seeker. That's what it is. That's because
Sure,
you're using
yeah.
when you're saying an automaton, you're referring to the that you got from. That's right.
I'm just trying to get a body.
Uh-huh.
I don't need all the
Wow.
fancies, but
No. It's in highest is intelligence as well, so it'd be an intelligence versus intelligence, and you would be I guess rolling an intelligence check versus intelligence save on the or both saves. Probably
can I
both
do
saves.
Arcana? Can I argue Arcana?
You can argue Arcana.
Baby.
As
Okay.
long as it's not with
You want to do
advantage.
the fine.
Okay.
Do you want to do the flux guy?
Yep.
I don't know if I get guidance on this.
You should. Yeah, because you're casting it on the ring, and one of two things Nimue is very familiar. That is a 20,
Gross.
not natural.
So the way
24 plus 1d4 if you want to roll it for me there.
oh, the other guidance doesn't count that I already rolled?
Oh, I didn't see that. What was it?
A 3.
3. So 27.
Your mind leaves the ring for the first time in not quite a year, but a while, and sinks into a central core. It feels like, and it takes you a while to gain any sort of movement. Like you go to try to move your arm, like you would, and the arm just like click click clack and falls back down for a second.
Just to confirm, this does or does not trigger a table.
Oh yes, thanks for the reminder.
I have all of his stuff tucked down on him too.
Yeah, it would trigger a table.
Yes, let's go, Brandon. I don't know why that like MAGA slogan has suddenly gotten into my head.
Because it's real silly. What's the table?
Starter table, character select, enter game table.
Oh.
I am now
Somebody
entering
call this
game for the
table.
first time as player instead of object.
Mm.
Be careful. If you die in real life, you die in the game. Wait.
Might be just easier to pop over to that map for a second when it comes to not only what's happening, but I need to go over to another map to token from the 4th level of hell, because that's where I know this token exists.
Freedom.
Here it is.
I'm alive.
Do you remember being in the ring? That's the real question.
I would
Yeah.
assume I would.
Every second.
I don't know. You don't have a brain. You're just a soul. So you were essentially Voldemort for a hot second. How's
Yes.
that feel? Do you have a nose?
I assume the robot does not have a nose, as it has no need for one.
You are now Voldemort.
Oh, here it is.
Robot Voldemort.
Yes. Mecha Voldemort.
Kill all mudbloods. Only true bloods. You have no blood, my lord. Shut up.
I think there's a Cards Against Humanity card like this.
I'd had a previously funny token for Franklin that I forgot about. This little thing.
Just a turtle.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the map for a second because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is like an early turtle version.
Yeah. Did I put? Oh, I did put this on the wrong layer. There we go. Now I put other guy on the right layer. And I need to give you control of it. Control. There it is. Saving now. So, Matt Nykamp, or the wizard formerly known as Matt
So
Nykamp.
wait. Before we allow him to do anything, is this a great time to end the session? We'll just like
7:47.
To be continued.
yeah, like we just see an image of like Matt, and then the screen goes dark. To be continued.
It could
I'd be fine with that.
I think it's
I
fair
need
to let
some
him
time.
decide what he's gonna do.
I had a whole list, but I wasn't planning on it working today because I had the 10-day timeline with my OG body. But if we want to call it here, that would be appreciated, and I have a whole series of spells to cast one after another.
Oh,
I think to give it the time that I hope it takes, it would be good to end now and pick up later.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, just to leave this seed out there, this now means that Matt's body is open to possession from other souls because it is currently being ritualified to be opened for his soul.
Ooh, that's fun. Who knows what'll happen there?
Nothing.
More
No.
plot hooks for Josh to play with.
So I've read through the contract. I don't see a way for Nimue to become a god, unfortunately. The way this contract is written, you guys would have to resort to violence to force her out.
You mean?
And you
I mean,
Oh, okay.
You're
there's
okay
also a
with violence.
line that you have to prevent any gods from ascending. I don't know if that was intentional in the contract, but the AI put it in there.
Yeah, I think it was at least intended. I don't know if it was actually spoken about, but I know that was kind of something you were aiming for.
The
as
intent
Franklin.
was to remove
No.
gods from this solar system indefinitely, right? Because the whole reason I would eventually kill myself is because I have one of the last links that a god might use to come here. So I have that book. So if we get all the other gods to leave, keep Minneapolis in prison because he can't die, otherwise the world explodes. And then 100 years later, after we kill all the PNC and stop them from leaving, I would then die, and then this solar system would be permanently god-free. That was the intent.
I see. See, Nimue just wanted to be just a silent entity protecting her kingdom and only using the god powers defensively. She didn't actually
Franklin
want
just
to
really
be like
wanted
Unless you,
Well, I think read the first part of it. I thought there was a clause about temporarily.
Franklin just really wanted to be born in the Dragonlance universe.
In the what?
Dragonlance universe.
Never heard of it.
So there
All the
is
gods
a
are
clause
beg
about
your pardon.
temporary use, but if her kingdom is in danger, she doesn't want to have to reach out to like 12 other people to get consent. Like that kind of defeats the purpose, I guess.
Right.
Once
Uh,
upon a
Also-
time, Dragonlance was as big as Forgotten Realms. It's another one
Yeah.
of the D&D universes.
I was trying to read into it. It definitely reads like a D&D campaign more than the Forgotten Realms, though, because in
Oh,
reading
absolutely.
it, you're just like this character's wandered off where? Doing what? Where are the other people?
Fuck.
Oh god.
Okay, Salvatore's writings absolutely do that shit. Like,
Yeah, that's fair. It's been a while since I've read those, I guess, comparatively
Like-
now. I need to go back and read some of them. I read those when
yeah.
so
Yeah, no. Salvatore's writings 100% read like a D&D campaign.
yeah.
Like, I would
But
not be surprised if they were. Like, what do you mean? Like,
This was just his game before.
yeah.
Question.
And
Hmm.
to answer your other previous, or one that I guess you haven't asked then, Emily, but to a point that you said earlier is that you could you need to determine rather if your kingdom is in this solar system, basically, because then that would also
I don't think so, because I've been imagining that she would see star maps.
Mhm.
She's going to find any map she can get her hands on.
right.
Well, wouldn't the star
Um,
map look different from a different perspective?
Yes.
But she would still recognize solar systems. Like if that was her solar
So-
system, she would recognize it.
Something
would
that I
look
need to
different.
sit down and shoot the shit with you at some point, Josh, is like Grandam 100% is not, but I'm kind of tempted to like make Faust from here, but from like another time, or from if there's
Yeah.
not a region that's like industrially like revolutionized, because like he's like I got it in my head that he's from like that time period where the Industrial Revolution is happening. Like he's very much got like Marxist ideologies floating around in his head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome to pick just about anywhere that's not populated on that map of Taurus in that regard.
or he could be
And
from a place that like developed that way because relative absence of godly intervention that developed that way out of necessity.
Well, if he's from the future and we do restrict the gods from the solar system from the
Yeah.
future,
disregarding
Maybe not,
that
then.
idea only just to not open more doors for you, but the only thought that I was going to say is that I've always opened it up to complete creative freedom from the player's side of things, of, like where exactly they would be located, including to the fact that we're like I haven't explored a large portion of Tareth in the sense too that it's like if you pick an area and develop a whole thing, I'll work with you and develop that area with you basically, and that what you're describing could exist on Tarth already somewhere.
That reminds me, I need to sit down and finish making the map for y'all on.
Next week,
Yeah.
was that next week? Okay.
isn't it?
What day are we
17th?
starting again? 17th? Okay, I can do 17th.
That's what I thought we'd.
I think we've already had that. 17th is
Yeah.
fine. 16th can't work. Wife will be very angry with me.
Anniversary.
Megan, that's the conversation I'm having. Yes. I'm
16th
aware,
is Sunday.
honey. She's over
No,
here now very
no,
upset
Monday.
at me for daring to insinuate that I ever do anything on the 16th.
The 16th is a Monday, not a Tuesday.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was just throwing dates out because he wasn't real sure what day was what.
It's summer. Like for all I know right now, like it could be like Monday right now. In fact,
Well,
I am
I
so
only-
out of touch with the flow of
Sure.
time.
I
I'm
only
a
know
college
what
kid.
day the 16th is because that's my birthday.
Hey,
Oh,
happy birthday that day.
happy birthday!
Thank you.
It's mine and my
Yeah.
wife's anniversary. So.
Oh, it's a good day.
Yeah. And then
A+
next
day.
16th is my birthday.
Oh, nice.
I'm a July baby.
So July 16th?
Yep.
My husband's birthday is a 28th and our anniversary is also a 28th. Super easy to remember.
Brothers is like the 27th. Weird how dates work out like that.
Mhm.
Later, y'all.
Good night.
I will have a map for y'all hopefully by the end of the night. Now I'm thinking I'll try and
I'll share
We need
my
to
character.
collaborate more on character choices.
Yeah, I would love to have like session 0 be like 0.5 if we can wing that, so I can do
Yeah.
little bit of ground setting. That way,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't wind up with 6 sessions and no
Wait, what do you mean
progress.
session 0?
Session 0 is like for when you create a character
Yeah,
together.
but
Together.
are we talking just Matt?
No, everyone.
Next week is me starting my he likes to sprinkle in one shots, kind of like Rick's heist.
Yeah.
I scheduled to have mine start during the summer when I had plenty of time to run it, and I'd like to do it. So that's the game plan. That's
Okay.
what if you go look at Reclusion there, that's
Ah.
everything I've posted about it's there, plus everybody joking about making the Scooby Doo gang.
Okay.
Which,
Man,
like,
either
yeah,
Scooby-Doo
y'all
or like
go ahead, make
like a-
the Scooby Doo gang. It's going to be Scooby Doo goes to Innsmouth. It's going to be great.
Can I be the ghost?
I'm calling all ghostly things. If you want to make like a ghostly race, by all means.
Okay.
Just know that the locals may not like you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll think on it.
It's going to be Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, but times 10. It's going to be great.
Gulp.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Zoinks!
Good show.
Zoinks. Josh, later I'd like to pick your brain about this contract and
Which?
potential.
A grand and wonderful thank you for those who took the time and made it here, to the end of the episode, where I know sometimes we are long-winded and others we are just dead silent. I don't know what to tell you. This is raw here, folks. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can help support us just by listening. But you can also provide even more support, if you like, by going to Anchor FM page and following the support link there. If you do so, I will personally work in an NPC or an idea, whatever you'd like to hear played out. If you want, you can get a hold of us through one of our many options, including voice messages on Anchor FM, or DM to our Twitter, or any other social media that you can find us, YouTube, etc. You can share your ideas, otherwise listen for the shout out and thank you for making it through.